Okay, hello and welcome to sportingways.com. My name's Thomas Rooney and this week I'm joined by Joe Rooney. We're going to look through the Premier League fixtures across the Easter weekend, across Friday, Saturday and Sunday. We're going to start with the only game on Good Friday, which is Swansea at home to Newcastle, 4:30 kick-off on Friday. I'm going to talk about Swansea. Obviously they've had a fantastic season this year, but they have lost their last couple. But most recently they gave Spurs a really good game at White Hart Lane. They equalised, they caused Spurs lots of problems, and they could have maybe got something on another day, but Spurs finished strongly. They're comfortably clear of the bottom three, so they can sort of relax at the moment and really enjoy their football. And Brendan Rodgers has actually been sort of touted recently for a top four job one day, and that's credit to the season they've had and the job that he's done. So they're very happy with life, and they'll relish this game against a good Newcastle side. And Joe's going to have a quick word about Newcastle.
Yeah, I mean, Alan Pardew's men, they've been arguably one of the teams of the season this year. They beat Liverpool last time out, and it was a very big game for them just to sort of really push on in the league, and they're now sitting 10 points clear of Everton in sixth, and they're actually only 5 points behind third place, so they've got a real incentive just to kick on and, you know, they could pinch a Champions League spot. And they've also got the form of Papi Cisse, who's got 7 in 7, and so he's going to be looking to score more goals, and he could really push them on into the Champions League spots. So we'll go for a prediction.
Yeah, I'll go first on a prediction. I think it's going to be a relatively even game between two teams that have had really good seasons. You know, as Joe said, sort of team of the year, probably Newcastle, possibly Swansea as well are up there. I'm going to go for Swansea 1, Newcastle 1.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good footballing game. I think both teams are going to look to attack, because although Newcastle's kicking on, the pressure is off them as well, and Swansea's sitting in mid-table. So I'm going to go for Swansea 2, Newcastle 2.
Okay, next up is Sunderland at home to Tottenham. It's a 12:45 kick-off on Saturday afternoon in the Premier League. We'll look at Sunderland to begin with. Obviously drew at Manchester City last time out, 3-3, and this probably felt like a defeat in the end because City fought back late on, but that's credit to how far Sunderland have come this year, because they've got ambitions of a top 7 finish, and they were relegation candidates a few months ago, so credit to Martin O'Neill and his team. And they've now got a decent run into the end of the season, so they'll be after a strong finish, getting some momentum for next year, and they'll hope to turn it on against one of the top 4 sides like they have done a few times this year.
Yeah, so Tottenham, they looked back to their near best against Swansea. I mean, they suffered a little scare with Swansea equalising, but their class really did shine through. I thought Gareth Bale was outstanding in that game, and Aaron Lennon coming back is a massive boost for Tottenham. I think they've really missed his pace on the right wing, and they are level on points with Arsenal. I mean, everyone talked about the form Arsenal were in, but you know, Tottenham fair play to them, they keep winning. You know, they win the rest of their games like they could do, and you know, that third place could be theirs.
Okay, so we'll go for prediction, shall we? I'm going to go for Sunderland 2, Tottenham 3. I actually think it's going to be an entertaining game with lots of goals. Sunderland can afford to really go for it. They haven't got too much to play for in terms of a league position, so I'm going to go for Sunderland 2, Tottenham 3. Yeah,
I think this might just be a slightly bigger game for Tottenham, and I think with the form that they're possibly going to be in, I think they're going to have too much for Sunderland. They're going to win 2-0.
Okay, next up is Bolton at home to Fulham. It's a 3 p.m. kick-off on Saturday afternoon. Talk about Bolton to begin with. It's obviously been sort of a difficult month or so for them, for obvious reasons, but on the pitch it's actually going very well indeed. They've won the last 3 games, one against Wolves last time out, which is a massive win against a fellow relegation candidate. They're only a point above the drop zone though, and this just shows that, you know, it is very tight at the bottom, and teams keep winning games. QPR are winning games, Wigan are winning games. And with that in mind, this is one of the most winnable fixtures for Bolton in the remainder of the campaign. So, big game for Bolton against Fulham this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Fulham, they returned to form on Saturday against Norwich. They scored for the first time in 4 games. You know, they'll really want to push on, get some momentum for next season, and the top 10 finish is still definitely possible for them. And they have got Chelsea as their game after this, so they want to carry a bit of form into that to beat their West London rivals. So we'll go for a prediction for this one.
Yep, I actually think it's going to be not the best game in the world, but I think it's going to be a 0-0 draw. I think it's Bolton will be reasonably happy with that, another point on the board, and Fulham will be very happy with an away point, but I don't think there's going to be any goals in this one, so I'm going for 0-0.
I don't anticipate a thriller at the Reebok, but I think Bolton might just nick it 1-0.
Okay, next up is Chelsea at home to Wigan, another 3 p.m. kick-off on Saturday afternoon in the Premier League. Talk about Chelsea to begin with, and first just say that we don't know the Champions League result against Benfica, but you would maybe expect them to progress with a 1-0 lead. Regardless of that though, Roberto Di Matteo has done a fantastic job, and he really has taken over the reins from Villas-Boas really well. Torres is now in the goals, which is a relief for him and a relief for the club in general, and they'll keep pushing the top four sort of the remainder of the campaign. And obviously they've got the Champions League, the FA Cup, they've got busy running, but they'll be relishing it because they're fighting on lots of fronts at the moment, and this will be a game they definitely expect to win.
Yeah, I mean, Wigan, you could just never write Wigan off, can you? I mean, they've been there, they've done it before, and if it's close this season again, you'd expect them to, if going into the final day, you'd expect them, if they need to get a win, they'll grind one out from somewhere. You know, they've got the experience to do it. They're on a bit of a good run, you know, they've got back-to-back wins together, they're unbeaten in 4. Their last trip on the road was a 2-1 win at Anfield, which was a great win. And they have got Man United and Arsenal after this, so it's 3 very tough games, so they're going to be looking to pick probably 1 win up from these 3 and they'll be happy, but it's going to be a tough job. So prediction from you, Tom?
Yeah, prediction, I actually think it's going to be lots of goals. Chelsea are scoring quite a few at the moment, but they can be leaky at the back at the same time. I think Wigan will maybe push them on the counter-attack on occasion, but I think Chelsea will get the point, so I think it's going to be 4-2 to the home side.
Yeah, I've just got a feeling Chelsea are coming into form at the right time, and Wigan are due a defeat, I think, so I think Chelsea can have too much, and it's going to be 3-0 to Chelsea.
Okay, next up we've got Liverpool at home to Aston Villa. It's a 3 PM kickoff on Saturday afternoon. Talk about Liverpool to begin with, these 2 struggling teams really, but Liverpool have lost 6 of their last 7 Premier League games, which is a horrific run for anyone, let alone a team like Liverpool. They've still got the FA Cup to come, which could save their season really. After winning the Carling Cup, they win the FA Cup as well. You know, that's still a decent season regardless of the league, but you know, it's been horrific in the league, and Dalglish has said he won't quit, nor should he, because they've spent a lot of money, they need to stick with it, but they really do need to return to winning ways in the Premier League, and I hope that comes this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Aston Villa, they're another team struggling at the minute, aren't they?
Yeah,
it's been a tough week for them with the Petrov news, and obviously we both wish them all the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they've lost their last 2, conceding 7 goals as well. So this really is a massive game for them. I mean, they're only 5 points off the bottom 3, and there always seems to be that one team dragged in every year, and you know that could be Villa this season. I think regardless, Alex McLeish, I mean, Villa fans haven't been happy with him from the start.
No.
I don't think it's going to be there next season, regardless of how they do. So a prediction for you for this one?
Yeah, I think it's, as we said, 2 struggling teams. I think one goal will be enough for Liverpool to win it. I think they'll just grind out a result. Villa, I'm not sure about goals on the road really, so I'm going to go for Liverpool 1, Aston Villa 0.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a Liverpool win as well. I mean, at the moment I can always see Liverpool's conceding a goal, so I'm going to go for Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 1.
Next up we're going to look at Norwich at home to Everton. It's a 3 PM kickoff on Saturday afternoon in the Premier League. Talk about Norwich to begin with, and most recently they played reasonably well at Fulham at times, but a slow start cost them the points in that one, and it has been a slightly frustrating spell for Paul Lambert's men because they're playing decent football at times but just aren't getting the results at the moment. The goals aren't flowing as they once were. Having said that, 11 points clear of the bottom 3, which is comfortable at this stage of the season, but they've got a tough run in, sort of some tough games to come, and this game against Everton at home is probably one of the most winnable in the remaining fixtures for Norwich.
Yeah, I mean, Everton, they've won their last 3 games in all competitions, won them all 2-0. They've gone above Liverpool in the league, which is massive for them, so they've still got plenty to play for, because they're going to want to finish above them. But they have got the FA Cup semi-final after Easter weekend, so are they going to be a little bit distracted, going into the game? They're a form team at the moment. They're much changed from the start of the season, like they do every year.
Yeah.
And prediction for this one?
Yeah, I actually think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's 2 teams that will be happy with a point as well. So I do think it will be a draw. I think it's going to be Norwich 1, Everton 1, and as I say, I think both teams will be happy with that.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there. I've gone for 1-1 myself. I think it is going to be, it's going to be one that both teams are looking to get a point from, and they're happy.
Okay, next up we look at West Brom at home to Blackburn. It's another 3 PM kickoff on Saturday afternoon in the Premier League. Talk about the Baggies to begin with. They haven't actually won since they defeated Chelsea in early March. Obviously that was a big win for them and a famous win for them, but they're 8 points clear at the bottom 3, which is at this stage comfortable, no immediate danger of being dragged into it, but this is kind of a massive game really, because Blackburn are in that bottom 3, so to lose against these would be, could see West Brom dragged into a little bit of trouble. They've got home games against Blackburn obviously this weekend, then QPR and Villa to come this season, so it really is their home form that's the key for them, finishing strongly this year.
Yeah, I mean, Blackburn, they lost late on against United on Monday night, and when you play United at this time of the season, you know what they're going to do, and they were unlucky. I thought they played quite well. Keane's still getting stick from the fans, and I can't really understand it, because he's not going to go. He's going to be the manager all season, so So all the fans have really got to get behind the team. They're back in the bottom three again. They pulled themselves clear once. The big test now is, can they do that again? So what are you going for this one?
Prediction wise, I think it's going to be a home win. I think West Brom will get, Roy Hodgson is a very good manager. I think he'll have them playing well. He'll know that they probably need 1 or 2 more wins just to be comfortable going for the last couple of games. And I think they get the points this time against a Blackburn side that might start to really struggle again. So I'm going for West Brom 2, Blackburn 0.
Yeah, I can also see a home win here. I've gone for West Brom 2, Blackburn 1. I think Blackburn, that hit them hard, the defeat against United on Monday. I think their confidence is going to be a bit low, so I can see a home win, definitely.
Okay, the late kick-off on Saturday afternoon in the Premier League, 5:30 at Stoke at home to Wolves. Talk about Stoke to begin with. They haven't won in 5 across all competitions, and that's a little bit of a blip for them. They've had a few of those this season. They're 13th in the Premier League, and manager Tony Pulis he's come out and demanded that his players don't let the season fizzle out. So they've got a couple of away games after this, and home to a struggling Wolves side, they'll really want 3 points. There's got to be 3 points for Stoke this weekend, you would think.
Yeah, I mean Wolves, a lot of people have written them off. They're in a shocking run of form. They're bottom of the league, 6 points adrift. They lost at home to Bolton as their last game, which was a real massive blow for them. And you kind of can't help feeling sorry for Terry Connon and not the club. The club really is in a bit of a mess at the moment. And I think under Mick McCarthy, they wouldn't be 6 points adrift. They'd still be in a relegation battle. But you feel sorry for Connon because it's not his fault, I don't think.
Okay, prediction wise, we'll go on this one. I think it's going to be a home win. I don't see where the points are coming from for Wolves at the moment. I really don't. And Stoke, when they've needed to win a home game just to relieve a bit of pressure, they've done so this year, and I think they'll do that again. So I'm going for Stoke 3, Wolves 1.
I can see a draw here. I don't think it's going to be the best of games. I mean, Britannia Stadium on a cold evening. I can actually see just a 0-0, which I think Wolves will take. A point on the road, and just hope other results go their way.
Okay, moving on to Sunday's fixtures, we've got a 1:30 kick-off between Manchester United and Queen's Park Rangers, and we'll talk about United to begin with. See, last time out on Monday evening, they had massive celebrations for the 2-0 win at Blackburn, and you kind of just got the feeling that they thought that could be one of the key results in winning the title this year. Because obviously Manchester City dropped points before that, so to go there and win, they're now 5 points clear, and they appear to be peaking at the right time, especially the likes of Ashley Young and Valencia are back in the side in the goals and playing really well. 3 of the next 4 for United are at home, so they'll want to go on a winning run between now and the end of the season. They could maybe even have the title tied up by the time they play Manchester City in a few weeks. So that they'll expect 3 points and nothing less in this one.
Yeah, I mean QPR is a massive win for them at home to Arsenal. They're out of the bottom 3 now. Now their test is, can they stay out of that bottom 3? Obviously, they always seem to raise their games against the bigger teams, so possibly they could get something from Old Trafford, but with the form United are in, it's going to be difficult, and especially United at this time of year.
Absolutely.
So all I can say is that anything from this game is a complete bonus, and maybe hope they don't hurt their goal difference too much.
Okay, on that note, we'll go for a prediction on this one. I actually think they will damage their goal difference quite a lot. I think with QPR, obviously they beat Arsenal, but then it's the way their season's been going. I think they could get absolutely hammered in this game. So I'm going for Manchester United 5, QPR 0.
Yeah, I'm also going for quite a convincing Man United win. I'm going to go for Man United 4, QPR 1. I think United are just going to have too much for QPR on the day. Okay, the final game to look at is a Super Sunday fixture, a really good looking game between Arsenal and Manchester City. Talk about the Gunners to begin with. Obviously lost at QPR last time out, which was a disappointing and unexpected result, and that's their first defeat for quite a while. They've been in a bit of a purple patch, have Arsene Wenger's men, and now Spurs are back level on points with them, sort of in the race for third place. So lots of hard work for them to do between now and the end of the season. 3 of the next 4 games are at the Emirates though, so they'll be reasonably confident that they can finish what's been an up and down season on a high and get that third place, but this is a big game against Manchester City. Yeah, I mean you kind of wonder for Man City, is it all slipping away? They're 5 points adrift. They dropped points at home to Sunderland at home, which was the first time they've dropped those points at home this season. Are there too many distractions in the side? You've got Tevez and Balotelli always in the headlines, and you've got that stupid Aguero injury that no one seems to quite know about. And Mancini seems like he's trying to play some mind games with Ferguson, which, as we've seen in the past, if you try, you're just going to fail. Ferguson's the master at that. Yeah, so your prediction for this one?
I actually think it's going to be, say, a Super Sunday game. I think it's going to be a really good game between 2 teams that will attack. They've got so much attacking talent between them, probably two of the best attacking sides in the league. You'd probably say they are. So I'm actually going to go for a draw. I think it's going to be a 2-2 on the day.
I think Man City are just going to raise their game a little bit for this one. I can actually see them picking up a 2-1 victory over Arsenal. I just think it is such a big game for them, and especially they could be 8 points adrift by the time they kick off. So I think they're really going to spur on, and I think they're going to win this 2-1.